A single shot fired by a police officer, killing an unarmed black man. And there's the backdrop, the government said today, of long-standing concerns about accountability and confidence in the criminal justice system. Chris Kaba's death and Martyn Blake's acquittal is not the reason for the government's review, rather an extension to the lengthy docket of trust issues in policing in the UK.
The British policing model relies on mutual bonds of trust between the public and the police. For our policing model to work, it is essential that the police have the confidence of the communities they serve, and that officers have the confidence they need to do their vital and often extremely difficult job of keeping us all safe.
Today, the government announced a package of reforms. The identity of firearms officers will be kept secret if they're prosecuted, unless they're convicted. The threshold for referring cases from the police watchdog, the IOPC, to the Crown Prosecution Service will be raised and the process sped up. Bereaved families' right to appeal when the police watchdog decides not to seek a charge against an officer will become statutory. And a national lessons learned database for deaths or serious injuries from police contact will feed into future police training. The issue of policing has long been polarising. What the Home Secretary seemed to do today is draw a line of commonality between the police and the policed. The accountability system is failing everybody, she said, because of its long delays and complexities.
Split-second, life or death decisions have to be made. The cost of not acting is considerably more severe than the cost of acting.
The reforms result from a review that began under the previous Conservative government. Much cross-party agreement today, though.
Because the focus when things go wrong can end up being entirely on the decisions of the individual officer, so system failings like poor training, unmanageable caseloads or wider force practices are not sufficiently considered or followed up, so too little changes.
Of course, the culture of the Metropolitan Police has been in the spotlight for decades. The KC Review was reacting to public concern following the kidnap, rape and murder of Sarah Everard. Officers sent photos of Nicole Smallman and Biba Henry's bodies on a WhatsApp group. David Carrick raped multiple women when he was a police officer. These big cases lifted the lid on a much wider culture of misconduct. Abimbola Johnson is on the scrutiny board for the Met's Race Action Plan, aimed at making the organisation anti-racist. Over the last couple of years, we've repeatedly heard Mark Rowley talk about back to basics policing and reforming the culture of the Met. Many people would say that he's rushing ahead to reform the accountability system without fixing what's happening on a grassroots level.
No, I think fixing issues that relate to trust, confidence, culture within policing, all of that actually is part of delivering on what we're told policing is meant to be about, which is that we're supposed to have a policing system that polices by consent. I think actually trying to separate those out as though they are different conversations is a falsehood. And these are packages that need to be delivered in the round.
On Monday, Martyn Blake, a Met firearms officer, was acquitted of murder. Mr. Kaba's family says they will continue to fight for change in the policing system. Today, some change came, perhaps not welcomed by everyone.